The moment your eyes open in the morning, heaven and hell both take notice, because the second you wake up, you're either stepping into power or drifting into passivity. There is no in between. Life doesn't wait. Purpose doesn't hit snooze. And destiny doesn't delay for the lazy. The moment you wake up, your mind is a blank canvas. It's like the world is giving you a fresh start, a new opportunity to define how your day will unfold. But here's the thing. What you do in the first moments after waking up can either launch you into greatness or let you drift aimlessly. Most people hit snooze, roll over, and let the world pull them in different directions. The truth is, your day is already set in motion the second your eyes open. And if you're not intentional about how you start it, you're leaving it up to chance, and chance doesn't care about your dreams. You have to care. You have to set the tone. The first thoughts you think after waking up are critical. They're like the seed you plant in the soil of your mind, and whatever you plant, that's what will grow. Imagine waking up and immediately allowing your mind to go to the negativity or anxiety that's waiting for you. It's like planting weeds in your garden instead of flowers. Your mind can easily be flooded with stress, worry, and self-doubt. But if you choose to shift your thinking, you can change everything. Start by being intentional about the thoughts you entertain. The second you wake up, choose to focus on something positive, something inspiring, something that affirms who you are and where you're going. Many people talk about needing more time. I need more hours in the day, they say. But the truth is, we all have the same 24 hours. It's not about more time, it's about how you use that time. The morning is your launch pad. It's when you decide how you will show up. If you wake up with a sense of urgency and purpose, you've already given yourself a head start. There's a reason why successful people wake up early. They know that the morning gives them a chance to tap into something special. They're not waiting for the world to tell them how to feel. They're shaping their day with their own hands. From the very moment they open their eyes, the first decision you make in the morning sets the trajectory for everything that follows. Will you choose the path of excellence or drift along in mediocrity? If you roll out of bed in a rush without a clear focus, it's easy to get lost in distractions. Social media, emails, text messages, and the pressure of the day ahead can overwhelm you before you've even had a chance to breathe. But when you wake up with a plan, with intentionality, you take control. Your morning routine should be deliberate and strategic. If you wake up and immediately focus on your mission, it's like setting your compass in the right direction before setting sail. The people who truly make an impact in this world don't just go with the flow, they create the flow. They wake up not just to exist, but to conquer. The way you wake up can either pull you into the hustle or paralyze you with indecision. When you set a mission for the day, when you define your purpose and intentions in the first few moments, you're declaring to yourself that you're in charge. You have a purpose that's bigger than just getting by, and you will not allow the world's distractions to knock you off course. It's easy to hit snooze and delay the day ahead, but that's giving your power away. The moment you decide to press on, despite the pull of comfort, you're making a bold statement to yourself, I am in control. Every action you take from the moment you wake up is a reflection of how much you believe in your mission. If you're intentional, you'll find that things align in ways you didn't expect. Opportunities, ideas, and breakthroughs often show up in the most unlikely places, but only if you're open to them from the start. Waking up with intention also means rejecting the passive, lazy mindset that society often celebrates. It's easy to think that success will come without effort, that things will eventually fall into place. But the most successful people know that every day is a choice, and every choice builds on the next. You can't afford to wake up and simply react to life. How will you show up today? Will you operate in greatness or settle for the status quo? One of the most powerful ways to set the tone for your day is through gratitude. The moment your eyes open, take a deep breath and recognize the gift of being alive. You've been given another opportunity to make a difference, to build, to grow, to change. When you wake up with gratitude, you're already starting on the winning side. Gratitude creates an energy around you that attracts more of what you appreciate. It lifts your spirit and opens your mind to possibilities you might otherwise overlook. It's impossible to truly see opportunities when you're focused on what's wrong or what's lacking. Finally, remember this. Your day doesn't just happen, you make it happen. The morning is when you decide what kind of day you'll have. Whether you wake up feeling energized or tired, excited or overwhelmed, you still have the power to decide your actions. What you do in the morning is a reflection of how serious you are about your future. If you wake up and let the day happen to you, you're giving up your power. But if you wake up and intentionally step into your greatness, you're setting yourself on the path to success. The way you start your morning will determine how you handle everything that follows. Your morning is a choice. You can choose to let it slip by, or you can choose to make it count. When you wake up with a clear purpose, with clarity and vision, you're creating momentum that will carry you through the rest of the day. It's not just about waking up. It's about waking up with intention, with power, and with focus. Your mission starts the second your eyes open. How will you rise today? Decisions are the invisible hands that shape the course of our lives. They're not always grand, life-altering moments. Most of the time, it's the small, seemingly insignificant decisions that have the biggest impact. Every moment you face a choice, you're either stepping toward your destiny or pulling away from it. Destiny is not a mystical force that finds you by chance. It is the result of decisions made day in and day out, often in the quiet moments when no one is watching. What you decide today is shaping the person you will be tomorrow and every day after that. This is the undeniable truth. Your decisions are your destiny. When you wake up, you have a choice. You can decide to rise with purpose, to face the day with energy and enthusiasm, or you can let the day happen to you. Most people live passively, letting the day dictate their emotions, their actions, and their focus. But the truly successful, the extraordinary, wake up and make a conscious decision about who they will be that day. They decide how they will show up, how they will face challenges, and what mindset they will embrace. These decisions, no matter how small, are the seeds that grow into a life of purpose and achievement. The power of decision lies in its ability to direct your life's path. Think of it like a ship navigating through an endless sea. Every decision you make is like adjusting the rudder, slightly changing the direction of the ship. In the moment, these adjustments might seem insignificant. After all, it's just a small decision to wake up a little earlier or to take a few minutes to plan the day. But over time, these seemingly small decisions add up, and you realize you've been steering your ship toward an entirely different destination than you might have imagined. Destiny isn't built on big decisions alone. It's built on the accumulation of many little ones. It's easy to underestimate the power of a single decision. When we think of changing our lives, we often focus on big, life-altering decisions like quitting a job or making a career change. While these moments are important, they aren't where the magic happens. It's in the daily decisions that we decide the kind of person we will become. Will you be someone who works towards their goals or someone who gets distracted by the noise? Will you be someone who chooses discipline over comfort or someone who lets procrastination steal your future? These are decisions that are made every single day, and they accumulate over time to shape your destiny. Sometimes making decisions can feel overwhelming, especially when there's so much at stake, but here's the truth. You're already making decisions, whether you're aware of it or not. By not deciding, you're still making a choice, and often the default choice is the path of least resistance. Doing nothing, staying comfortable, avoiding change. But that path doesn't lead to greatness, it leads to mediocrity. The most powerful people in this world are those who make decisions with courage and conviction, even when the path ahead is unclear. The key is not to wait for the perfect decision or the perfect moment. It's to make decisions with the information you have and trust that you'll adjust as you go. Every decision you make is an opportunity to align yourself with your future. When you decide to work on your goals, even when you don't feel like it, you're aligning with the future of achievement. When you decide to focus on personal growth rather than entertainment, you're aligning with the future of success. When you decide to invest in your health, your relationships, your business, or your spiritual life, you're aligning with a future of fulfillment. These decisions are powerful because they connect the present moment to your potential. Every choice is a building block toward the person you will become. It's easy to think that decisions are only about the big things, where you live, what career you choose, who you marry. While these choices are important, the real power lies in the smaller, everyday decisions. The decision to get up early and start your day with purpose. The decision to prioritize your health over your comfort. The decision to be kind, even when it's hard. These daily decisions are the ones that compound over time to create the life you desire. And when you consistently make decisions in alignment with your purpose, your destiny begins to take shape before your very eyes. But here's the thing, making decisions is not always easy. You'll be tempted by comfort, fear, and doubt. You'll be faced with choices that seem insignificant in the moment, but hold the power to shift your trajectory. It's in these moments that your character is formed. Will you decide to step up and push past fear? Or will you let the moment pass and stay stuck? The good news is that you don't have to make the perfect decision every time, but you do have to make a decision. Any decision. Inaction is the enemy of progress. Taking imperfect action is always better than sitting back and waiting for the right moment that may never come. As you move forward, remember that decisions are not permanent. If you make a decision and it doesn't turn out as planned, that doesn't mean it's the end of your story. You can change your decisions, you can course correct. The power lies not just in the decision itself, but in your ability to take responsibility for it and move forward with confidence. Destiny is not determined by one decision. It's determined by your ability to keep making decisions in the face of uncertainty and setbacks. The life you're living right now is the result of the decisions you've made in the past. The beauty of life is that every new day presents you with a fresh opportunity to make a new decision, a new choice. Don't let the mistakes of yesterday define who you are today. Every morning you wake up, you're given a blank page. What will you decide to write on it? Will you decide to rise, to fight, to push forward, or will you decide to let fear and doubt dictate your action? Your decisions, big or small, are the keys to your future. The power is in your hands right now. Movement is the force that brings your dreams into reality. Too often, people get caught in the cycle of waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting until they feel ready. But the truth is, waiting never creates anything. It's movement, action, and progress that have the power to create miracles. When you choose to move, even if you don't feel fully prepared, you open the door for possibilities that would never appear if you stayed still. Movement is not just about physical action. It's about creating momentum that propels you toward your goals, even when the path ahead is unclear. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they have to wait for the right moment to take action. But the right moment will never come. It's a myth. The moment to act is always now. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. When you start moving, even in the smallest way, you begin to build momentum. That momentum opens doors, brings new opportunities, and shows you things that you couldn't see when you were stuck in indecision. Action is the catalyst that transforms your thoughts into results. Movement creates momentum. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you create a force that propels you forward. Momentum is the secret weapon of success. When you begin, you might feel uncertain, unsure, or even fearful. But as you keep moving, you'll start to gain clarity. The more you move, the more you understand what's working and what's not. You learn from your mistakes and adjust as you go. Momentum is the teacher that guides you through the process, showing you the way when the road is unclear. It turns the impossible into the inevitable. When you're moving towards something that matters to you, you're not just putting in effort. You're building something bigger than yourself. Movement is a form of creation. Every step you take, every decision you make to move forward contributes to the building of something powerful. It's the act of bringing your vision to life step by step. Whether it's your business, your health, your relationships, or your spiritual growth, every move you make is a stroke on the canvas of your future. The more you move, the clearer the picture becomes. But movement doesn't just bring clarity, it brings opportunities. When you stay stagnant, you block the flow of possibilities. The universe, life, and the people around you respond to movement. Movement signals to the world that you're serious, that you're ready for growth, that you're willing to take risks. As you move, you attract people, situations, and resources that align with your efforts. Opportunities will appear that you never could have imagined while you were standing still. The key is to keep moving, no matter how small the steps are. When you move, the universe begins to open doors that were once closed. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't progressing as quickly as you'd like. But movement doesn't always look like progress at first. It can be slow, it can be messy, and it can be frustrating. But the act of moving creates a force that builds over time. The more you move, the more you align with your purpose. The more you show up, the more the world responds to you. Even if things don't seem to be going your way, movement is still creating change. It's just that the change isn't always immediate or obvious. When you move, you're also growing. Every action you take forces you to confront fears, face challenges, and overcome obstacles. Movement requires you to expand, to push beyond your limits, to become someone greater than you were yesterday. It's in the doing that you develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. You can't grow if you're not moving. You can't develop new skills if you're not stepping outside your comfort zone. Movement forces you to evolve, and that evolution is what creates miracles. One of the most profound aspects of movement is its ability to shift your mindset. Action breeds confidence. When you start moving, you begin to see that you're capable of more than you thought. Every step you take, every task you complete builds your confidence. As your confidence grows, you begin to trust in your abilities and your judgment. You start to believe in the process and the journey. Movement strengthens your belief in yourself, which is one of the most powerful things you can have when building your future. Movement is also contagious. When you move, others around you begin to move as well. People are inspired by action. When they see you taking bold steps toward your goals, they start to believe that they can do the same. Your movement creates a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. It shows others that it's possible to take action even when the road ahead looks difficult or unclear. Your progress becomes a beacon of possibility for others, inspiring them to move toward their own dreams and aspirations. Movement unlocks the miraculous. When you step out in faith, when you move toward your dreams with courage and determination, you invite the miraculous into your life. Miracles don't happen in a place of stillness or passivity. They happen when you put in the effort, when you show up, when you keep going even when it seems like the odds are stacked against you. Miracles are the result of persistent movement, of staying faithful to the process and trusting that your actions will lead to something greater than you can imagine. It's in the act of moving that you position yourself for the extraordinary. Obedience is the key that unlocks the door to purpose. It's easy to think that our purpose will be revealed in a dramatic moment, some grand epiphany or a sudden flash of clarity. We wait for a sign, for the stars to align before we take action. But the truth is, purpose is not found in waiting. It is found in obedience. Obedience is not just about following orders. It's about aligning your actions with a higher calling, with the things that have been placed within you. It's about surrendering to the process, even when it doesn't make sense, and trusting that each step is leading you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. When you obey the call on your life, even in the small things, you begin to open doors that were once closed. Obedience is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without it, purpose remains dormant, waiting for you to take the first step. Often we want to know the entire path before we take the first step, but that's not how purpose works. Obedience is the willingness to move forward with only the light of the next step. It's a willingness to trust the process and walk by faith, knowing that every act of obedience aligns you more closely with the reason you were created. Obedience doesn't always come easy, and